In a small serene village along the banks of the Mekong River in Cambodia, there lived a young girl named Suri. Suri was known throughout her village for her kind heart, gentle spirit, and deep connection with nature. She spent her days helping her family in the rice fields and tending to the small garden behind their wooden stilt house. But more than anything, Suri loved spending time by the Lotus Pond, a place of great beauty and tranquility just outside the village. The Lotus Pond was special to Suri. It was a place where she felt at peace, surrounded by the delicate pink and white blossoms that floated gracefully on the water's surface. The villagers believed the pond was sacred, and that the lotuses held a magical power that protected the village from harm. Suri often sat by the pond, watching the dragonflies dance among the flowers and listening to the gentle ripple of the water. One day, as Suri was sitting by the pond, she noticed something unusual. Among the many lotuses, one flower stood out. It was larger than the others, with petals that shimmered like pearls and a golden center that glowed softly in the sunlight. Suri had never seen such a beautiful lotus before. Drawn to its radiance, she leaned closer to admire it. As Suri reached out to touch the magical lotus, she heard a soft voice, like a whisper carried on the wind. "Dear child," the voice said, "I am the spirit of the lotus. You have a pure heart, and for that reason, I have chosen you to help protect this land." Suri gasped in surprise but felt no fear. Instead, she was filled with a sense of warmth and comfort, as if she were speaking to an old friend. "What must I do?" Suri asked, her voice barely a whisper. The spirit of the lotus responded, "The balance of nature in this village is threatened. The river, the fields, and the forest are all connected, and the harmony between them must be preserved. But the people have begun to take more from the land than they give back, and this has upset the balance. If this continues, the village will suffer, and the beauty of this land will be lost." Suri listened carefully, understanding the gravity of the situation. "How can I help restore the balance?" she asked. The spirit of the lotus explained, "You must share the wisdom of the lotus with your people. Teach them to care for the land and the water, to take only what they need, and to give back to nature in return. Only then will the balance be restored, and the village will thrive once more." Suri nodded, her heart filled with determination. "I will do everything I can," she promised. The spirit of the lotus smiled and the glowing flower gently closed its petals, as if it were going to sleep. Suri knew that she had been given a great responsibility, and she was determined to fulfill it. She stood up and began walking back to the village, her mind racing with thoughts of how she could help. Over the next few days, Suri started speaking with the villagers. She visited their homes, talked to the elders, and shared the wisdom she had learned from the spirit of the lotus. She explained the importance of preserving the balance of nature, urging them to take only what they needed from the land and to treat the river, fields, and forest with respect. At first, some of the villagers were skeptical. They had grown accustomed to the abundance that the land provided and didn't see the need to change their ways. But Suri's sincerity and gentle words began to touch their hearts. Slowly, they started to listen. Suri led by example, organizing community activities that brought people closer to nature. She helped plant new trees along the riverbank, encouraged families to use less water and showed the children how to tend to the garden without harming the soil. She also reminded the villagers of the ancient traditions that honored the river and the land, traditions that had been passed down through generations but were slowly being forgotten. As the villagers began to change their ways, something remarkable happened. The river, which had been running lower and slower than usual, began to flow more strongly. The fields, which had been struggling to produce a good harvest, started to flourish again. The forest, which had seemed to grow quieter each day, was once more filled with the sounds of birds and animals. One day, as Suri was returning to the lotus pond, she noticed something astonishing. The magical lotus, which had spoken to her, was now surrounded by many other lotuses, each one glowing softly with the same pearly light. The pond seemed more vibrant and alive than ever before. The spirit of the lotus spoke to Suri once again, its voice filled with pride and gratitude. "You have done well, Suri. The balance has been restored, and the land is healing. Because of your kindness and wisdom, your village will continue to thrive for generations to come." Suri smiled, her heart swelling with joy. She had not only helped her village, but she had also learned an important lesson, that every small action taken to care for the earth can have a profound impact. She thanked the spirit of the lotus and promised to continue protecting the land and sharing its wisdom with others. From that day forward, Suri became known as the guardian of the lotus pond. She continued to teach the villagers about the importance of living in harmony with nature, and the pond remained a place of beauty and tranquility, a symbol of the balance between humans and the natural world. The village prospered, and the lotus pond became a place of pilgrimage for people from near and far. They came to see the magical lotuses and to learn the lessons of respect and stewardship that Suri had shared. And as long as the villagers cared for the land and water, the spirit of the lotus watched over them, ensuring that the balance of nature would never be lost again. Moral of the story: the health of our environment is directly linked to our own well-being. By living in harmony with nature and respecting the balance of the natural world, we ensure a prosperous and sustainable future for ourselves and for generations to come.